Hi Pisces, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. So I'm just going to pull you an additional guidance card before I shuffle the cards. So what's come up? Oh, you got the co-creation card. I think that's very, very apt actually, to tell the truth. Mercury retrograde in Pisces, okay, absolutely. It's such a lush creative imagination week here. With that going on, there's also loads and loads of planets going into Pisces. Venus will be there next week, Neptune's there, and they're all going to form the sextile with Saturn and Capricorn, which is about form. So it's really about bridging spirit with the 3D world, what you can touch, what you can see, and what you can feel. Huge month to begin to work on what your dreams are. Not only for yourself, or you can do it for yourself if you want, but for the planet we live in, okay? It's also a sort of week, actually the whole next month, that sort of sense of returning home to yourself. And very, very beautiful energy, but co-creation is really that card of co-creating your reality with the universe. And to get to that point, really, there has to be a lot of rewriting of the stories that we tell ourselves, okay? Ending karmic contracts, that sort of thing. So let's see what the other cards have got to say. I'm really interested now actually. So give me 6 cards for the sign of Pisces, please. Please make them straightforward and clear to guide the sign of Pisces, please. So let me look. 4 of Swords behind you. So yeah, resting, non-action, because that's the season that we're in at the moment. As we move to Aries, things are going to start to move. But it's very much a card about receiving and a card of resting. So I think it's pretty crystal clear. The 7 of Swords as the gift. The challenge is the 3 of Cups. You've got 8 of Wands. It's how other people are showing up for you. So there's going to be quite a lot of communication. People communicating, that sort of thing. Let me just pull the rest of the cards. The Emperor as a central issue, and then the 10 of Cups is the outcome. So you've only got one major arcana, and it's the Emperor. He's a page for a lot of people because we're going into Aries season. So Aries is that energy of pioneering. I am and I will. Very much about setting direction in your life and deciding what direction you're going into. It's very interesting because as you come in to the week, you're definitely in the 4 of Swords energy, okay? So this is about rest. You can very, very clearly see it in this image. So some of your batteries are very down. I still think this is classic Mercury retrograde. I think everyone's energy is much more in the Piscean realm, which is about dream time, journaling, getting tarot readings. It's very much in that energy. So a lot of us aren't feeling this dynamic push forward yet. When the sun goes into Aries, March the 21st, that is when you'll start to feel your energy coming back. Now the gift is the 7 of Swords, okay? So if the gift is the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Swords is a card about sort of being in the shadows, okay? So something not fully coming to light, but it's the gift. And I think it's to do with this 8 of Wands and how other people are showing up for you. There's a lot of communication coming through. And I think it's this communication that will bring the 7 of Swords out of the shadow energy. So when we're in the energy of the 7 of Swords, it talks about a lot of unspoken stuff. Yeah, things not being said, things not being communicated, and things like that, Pisces, put our energy in very, very grey areas. It's not the best energy for Pisces to be in, but it's a card, and all the cards are universal themes, so we all go through them. I think there's some stuff coming to light for you this week. I think you're going to be moving out of that sort of shadowy realm. Can you clarify the Seven of Swords for Pisces, please? Okay, you've got the King of Swords now, so it can be an air sign person. And there's communication, because ultimately, to be a king and to have the crown means that you have mastered the art of communication, okay? So, and because of that Eight of Wands here, I think there's some communication that needs to happen here with someone. Can be an air sign, doesn't have to be, because this king just represents the art of communication, because communication is such an art. And I think for some of you, so there might be a little bit of a, it's almost like there's things not been fully brought out, things not been spoke about. It can be with this king, or it can be with anyone in your life. And I think this Eight of Wands has got a very, very good chance of bringing this communication very much into a much more expansive way. The Eight of Wands is one of these cards that doesn't have any shadow side, by the way, because it's just free-flowing communication, very expansive. It can be a card about travel, it can be a card of Cupid's arrows, but it's very much, I think, because this is the gift, the Eight of Wands is clearing up some communication issues. Okay, now the challenge is the Three of Cups. Now, very interesting card to show up here, because the Three of Cups is a card, these people fly, they're very light, and we become light when we drop that which is draining our energy, essentially. Yeah, draining your energy, Pisces, is one of your things that you really need to master. There might be a little bit of unspoken communication that's draining your energy. So, because the Three of Cups, these people fly because they've dropped it. And I think a lot of this week is going to be about clearing up communication patterns or unspoken resentments. We all have them. So you can be lighter in your own self, okay? Because when we're light in our own self is when we feel joy, by the way. You know, when we feel that there's nothing hidden from us, nothing lying in the shadow energy. I think there has to be some communication here. The King of Swords is also about that objective mind. So be able to see the bigger picture, not jumping to conclusions, because he's a king. And you don't get a crown ever in reactive patterns. So very much this higher mind. There's communication that needs to be cleared up, guys, okay? End of. Now the central issue is the Emperor card, which is Aries, okay? So that it can be some communication issues going on here. Why Aries? Because for some Pisces, this is going to be about goals and direction starting to come through. Yeah, that's what Aries season is. It's what represents our whole birth chart. Whenever I look for a reading, whenever I do a reading, I look for Aries, because that's what the starting engine is. So something might be starting for you as you come through these shadowy energies. But this is the Aries card, so there might be communication issues with an Aries, okay, and a Gemini, sorry, or you're having to keep boundaries as well, because that Emperor is a very, very boundaried energy. I love the Emperor. I don't like it when he shows up in a relationship reading, funnily enough, because in a relationship reading doesn't express himself, and maybe it's that lack of expression that's keeping those Seven of Swords in the shadow area. But I think it's going to change with that Eight of Wands, by the way. I think there's going to be some communication from one of these characters anyhow. There's nothing to worry about, Pisces, because your outcome is the Ten of Cups. Now, this is showed up for quite a few people. The Ten of Cups is a completion card. It's got a rainbow in it. Now, the tarot follow natural law. There's nothing, they're just natural law. And rainbows come out after storms and after challenges. I mean, because the way life is, we just begin a new cycle after that. But it looks like there's some coming out of this grey area and coming into this sort of sense of, no, I understand, some sort of clarity, some sort of joy is coming your way. The Ten of Cups is a very spiritual card because, and I'm not saying being on your own isn't spiritual, guys, but it shares what it has. It's got this beautiful flow about it, and that's where you're going to. I think this is a classic tale of some sort of communication issue going on. I'll clarify this Emperor. Why is the Emperor here, please, for Pisces? Because Pisces energy, I mean, I know you have the two fish, yeah? So you're always going to the infinite and then sort of the 3D spirit energy, okay? But why the Emperor? What's going on for this Emperor? Six of Cups. So I think for some of you there's been a communication issue here, and that's exactly what I'm picking up, because the Six of Cups is a card of reconnection, and so is the Ten of Cups. So they're both very similar cards. And because of the Seven of Swords here, I think some Pisces, I think some of you have been feeling something. You know, the instinct, that sort of intuition, that knowing about something, but it's not, you haven't had it verified, and it's not came out into this sort of clearer picture for you. So some of you have had a niggling in your head about something, and I think there's a lot of reconnection. There's an awful lot of joy here, by the way. Enjoy every bit of it, okay? But there's definitely some communication going through. I think for some of you it's definitely with an Aries, for some of you it's with an air sign, or this King of Swords is just about communication, straightforward communication, which brings the Seven of Swords into the light. Because when it's in the light, it's no longer, oh, you know, that sort of, because I think for Pisces, when something's in the shadows, it drives you crazy. It's like having a stone in your shoe and you feel uncomfortable because you know something. And it looks like there's a lot of clarity and a lot of vision and an awful lot of love for you this week, Pisces, okay? It might take the week progressing for it to come through, but it's coming through. Very nice reading, actually, and as Pisces moon here, I totally get this reading. Very, very good. Lots of love, Pisces. I'll be back doing April's reading next week. Okay, bye.